welcome back to the Coast Distinct podcast. Your boy DJ K. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. We got a great show for you guys today. But before we even get into the show, man, I'd like to give a big shout out to my followers, my subscribers. Much love to you guys. Much love to you guys sending me your comments, your concerns, your questions. I had some interesting individuals up here starting off the year, and as the year go on, we're going to get more interesting and we're going to be more informative because the things like I know. I like to build community, and I like to build things in our community and make sure that we're doing the right things, right? So, guys, before we get started with the episode, big shout out to 605 Adult Beverages. Much love to you guys. You guys sponsor the podcast, and make sure you guys go hit them up at Drink AOP6. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're everywhere pretty much. They started off in New York City. Now they're in, let me see, they're in 20 markets, I believe, right now. So they're growing. Their brand is getting bigger. They're the only infused beverage company in the world. So, and it's black owned too. So make sure you guys will invest in that. Drink ALP6. Shout out to those guys. Much love to my partnerships at Red Coral Universe. Much love to you guys. So, guys, as you know, I always have some great people that come up here, some family, some friends, some constituents, some colleagues, whatever you want to call it, but the information is prevalent. So today I got not just a fellow alumni of Southern University. I got to shout that out. Shout out to the university, you know what I'm saying? But it's a brother. He's very impactful in the community. He's done a lot of things on the business side, and now he's working and trying to help individuals with their credit, not just their credit, but their business credit. Mm-hmm. So I like everybody to welcome. I'm not going to give you his government. I'm just going to say Brandon. Everybody welcome Brandon to the show. Brandon, what's good?
You have such a wonderful following, and I'm just blessed to be here and be able to give a word or two to people that are really wanting to be encouraged in 2024 and turn the corner and do some great things. So, man, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
No doubt. Yeah. So, look, before we get started, I want the people to know where you're from.
So it's funny, man. I grew up in Michigan, in Lansing, and then I went to high school in Las Vegas, man. Believe it or not, most people at Southern University called me Vegas, man. I was blessed enough to grace the baseball fields there and learned a whole lot about how to persevere, man, in life. And man, it's been a great run. Came to Southern 1999, and man, well, those were some special years at Southern, man. Absolutely. As you know, that was a great period. 99, 03, 05, somewhere in there was just phenomenal, man. So yeah.
Shout out. That's dope. So now, don't tell me you went for Michigan in the championship this year.
I was, the thing is, Michigan State is go green. So
that is in Lansing, right?
But yes, in Lansing, and my grandmother was actually Magic Johnson's seamstress. If you look at Magic Johnson, shout out to my grandmother Ruth Morrell. She actually custom fit his suit that he wore when he was the number 1 draft pick for Michigan State.
Wow.
And my mother worked for Michigan State for 18 years. So It was bittersweet to see Michigan in it and Michigan State not be in it. But hey, man, that's life. I still had to give them some love, and I'm conflicted too, man. Spent some time in Seattle. My aunt was an executive at Starbucks, man. So I really didn't know who to group for, to be honest.
You're all over the place, right? Yeah. It's all good though, man. Yeah. So look, tell the people, how did you even get started in business? Because I know. Sure. Outside of Southern, I know that you had a agency for a long period of time, right? Sure. I don't know if you want me to say the name, but I'm just going to say agency. Insurance agency.
Yeah, we'll say insurance agency that they wear red a lot, So,
right. Yeah. But you had an agency, so how did you even start in business?
Well, I'll tell you that. It all came before that, right? So when I came out of Southern, I actually went into pharmaceutical sales, and I actually built territories for them. And I said to myself, man, if I can make them a lot of money, I'm sure I can make money for myself. And so about 7 years after post-grad, I had built some very big territories with Eli Lilly. I will say their name. Shout out to Eli Lilly. It was a great experience, but I kind of started figuring out how much money I was going to make every year, and it made me uncomfortable.
Okay.
To know how much I'm going to make in a band, a period of band, whether it's 150, 200, I didn't like it. And so I wanted to be in something where I could help and give back, and that's why I went into the insurance and financial services space.
Okay.
That's what really drove me into it.
So now, being in insurance, I know that you see a lot of liability, collision, comprehensive, things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
So in doing that and learning that business, did that catapult you to something else, or did it motivate you to do something else?
That's an excellent question. You know, in 2017, I departed away from State Farm. I didn't like being captive.
Okay.
Because I'm one of those people that like to solve things from an outside the box standpoint. Like if I only have one way of doing things, it's just not me. And
right.
so it was very unnatural. And I remember looking at people's policies and seeing that credit, the ones who had better credit at renewals, they actually got better rates, which I didn't think was fair. So as you could imagine, and I'm not trying to say any company does anything out of line, but a lot of us never had the rates that I wanted them to see. And so that really was a catalyst that drove me to starting Credit Group USA. That was my first brand of credit that I started. It was to deal with personal credit because to me, that was the great equalizer from a financial standpoint, was having good credit, right? And then I went on to get my mortgage license, and I still have my mortgage license. And so that's how everything financial kind of comes about to me. People go, man, Brandon, you're into all kind of things. No, but anything financial, that's what I gravitate to. That's my passion.
I got you.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about credit. Now, we know that's one of those terms. I'm not going to say a cliche term, but it's a term that a lot of individuals are talking about.
Yeah.
So a lot of us, when I say us, a lot of minorities, people of color, blacks. They say blacks.
Yep.
I'm not going
brown
to say
people.
that term. Brown people. Brown and black people.
Extra
right?
brown people.
So since the pandemic and since all these scams, a lot of people are hesitant in even going to like a credit codes, going to a tax person, right? Yeah. So now getting in credit, let the people know, like, make them understand, I guess.
This is the game, guys. Yeah. There's only this. If you just know this, you're fine, guys. I'll restate it if I need to. But 35% of your credit score is based on how you pay them people in the past, okay? Okay, 30% is how you're a good steward of your credit. So if you have a $10,000 line of credit and you use $8,000 of it, you're probably not going to experience the best score. So that's 65% of your credit score. The other 15% is length of time that you actually have credit, right? That's why a person who's 70, 80 years old will always have better credit than probably a young person. It's because they've had those accounts for many, many years. And then the other 10% is adding new credit every year. And then the last 10 is the type of credit, whether it's revolving or it is installment, right? That's why if you go get a car or home, your scores shoot up 3 months after. It's because it just changed the mix of your credit. So, yeah, if you just know that, guys, it's virtually impossible to have a bad score. I don't know why people think it's so crazy or just so complicated. If you pay them people, you pay your bills on time, right, and you're intentional about checking and monitoring, it's virtually impossible to have bad credit, you know.
So I want to ask this question because it's a simple question, but a lot of people don't ask it.
Sure.
Is credit important? Do you need credit as an adult?
Yeah.
I'm just going to make it simple.
Yeah.
As an adult.
Yes, sir.
Say you're 25, between 25 and 40, right?
Yeah.
Do you need credit?
100%.
Yeah,
I mean, you just, you know, especially when you start having kids, you're just not able to have that spread of income. So you are going to use credit, but it's all about being a good steward of it. You just, I mean, most people I know don't have $200, $300, $500, $700 million just sitting there, so they got to leverage their credit. But it's all about not paying too much for your credit in the rate.
Okay.
Because as you know, man, percentages, a small percentage of a large number is still a large number.
Yes.
And so, yeah, the better your credit is, it just impacts everything. The mortgage rate you pay, your car insurance. I mean, basically the deposit on your electricity or not. Like all these things are tied to credit. So 100%. I don't care who you are, you need credit, but it's always good to be a good steward of credit and be respectful of credit. And if you do that, you'll be fine.
So, and I was, funny you said that, I was telling my daughter this, and she's in college. Of course, you know, when you go to college, they offer you those credit cards.
At the union? You talking about the union?
Right.
They set that little table up at the union.
They give you $300 in a T-shirt, right?
Yeah,
and I'm like, no. I say, no, we're not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on my card as an authorized user. But you can't use the card.
100%.
You're just gonna be you're gonna have that history with your name on it.
Yeah.
So whenever you want to purchase a home, you can. But I had to learn that because when I went to school, my parents didn't have credit.
They didn't have the means to do that.
Right. So I was getting them $300 T-shirts.
$500 credit limit. You know what I'm saying? One bad weekend. You know, you 90% utilization. Yeah.
When I graduated, I realized that I didn't pay those cards back.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody starts off with that low interest rate. I mean, that low credit.
Yeah.
So to go back what you said about rates. So it's important that I want you to break down this also before we even get into the business side of it.
Sure.
So you said something about rates, right?
Yes, interest
right
rates.
now, credit cards the spending on credit cards are at an all-time high.
All-time high.
But people don't realize what their interest rates are.
Whew, 25, 27, 32. I mean, think about that, guys. I mean, each year they're adding 25% on top of what you've already spent. It's virtually impossible to pay it off in a timely period, right? Like, you just have to be really intentional. What you can do, I will always say this, though, is you can call and talk to your card issuer. And the biggest thing to understand, though, more than anything, is the date that your actual payment is due and then the date they report to the credit bureau. So I always say be very intentional. I'll give you an example. So if your payment is due on the 13th, well, they could be reporting on the 14th. Mm-hmm. So it may not be enough time. I would say set it earlier, like 5 days before. Make sure that payment hits and has enough time to settle before the card issuer reports it to the credit bureaus. That's really the game right there.
Right.
And that's what they don't tell you. Man, you could do what's called spend it like cash. Literally, think about it. I could literally, the 1st through the 5th, pay the bill. The 17th through the 3rd of the month, I could spend the whole total. But as long as I clear the total before it's reported to the credit bureau, now you get the best of both worlds. You spend all access to your capital, right? But then you got all the points and all the bells and whistles without hurting your utilization reporting.
But I think you should repeat that. Because
yeah, that's what they don't teach you. So watch this. They give you a credit card, right? $1,000 limit. You can use the $1,000 every single month like clockwork, but it's all about the timing of utilization and the payment. So once again, I would always advocate, call your credit card company and ask them, when do they report to the bureaus? They have to tell you. 9 times out of 10, they'll probably have to you probably have to talk to a supervisor. They don't. That's not a normal question they get. But always get your payment in that first 7 days of the month, so the timing of when your payment settles hits before your utilization is reported to the credit bureau. I can't tell you enough. That's the game. No matter how many cards you have, always rotate them that way, and you can spend the whole balance after it reports.
Right.
So if it reported on the 17th, you can from the 18th all the way through the 3rd of the month. I think you can have a good time with that money.
Absolutely.
Spend it like cash.
And the thing is, you said this at the beginning of the show. You got to pay them people, man. Hey, look,
negotiate with them people, but you're going to have to pay them people.
You're going to have to pay them, man.
Yeah,
look, it's cool to spend on that credit card.
Yeah, it feels good.
But pay them people back.
Pay them people, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's fast forward.
Sure.
Now, you said we talked about personal credit, and we talked about the rates and how a card or how can credit benefit you.
Sure, 100%.
So let's move into the business side, what you specialize in.
That's my passion. Yeah, you'll probably see I'm passionate about it, but I'm sorry if I give too much energy. But no, that's
so I'm gonna give you ABC 101 questions, right? Just to break it down for the people that don't know.
Ask the most hardest question you can that you could find.
What is the difference between personal credit and business credit?
Man, simply put, you know how I talked about using $8,000 out of a $10,000 line of a credit line would be a problem on the personal side because it shows you over leverage, right? On the business side, they actually reward you for spending more and being able to handle the debits and credits on. So it's totally opposite. You know, where a personal score is 350 to 850. The business credit score is like 1 to 100. It's just a totally different mindset. Yep. You're actually encouraged on the business side to have more credit, and it's encouraged. And if a card issuer sees that you can actually handle more credit, they'll try to give you more. And then they'll start giving you better terms. Instead of you saying, hey, pay me back in 30 days, pay me back in 60, pay me back in 90. Try that on your personal credit. Try to pay them 90 days late and see how it hurts your score. No. Your score is going to drop off by probably 30, 40 points depending on how many times you do it. Totally different mindset. Pay me 90 days later? Sounds like a sweet deal to me.
Yeah.
It's benefits to having a business, man. That's all I can tell you.
So that's the difference between personal and business. So now you use this term a couple of times, leverage.
Leverage, wow.
Right? Yes, so what is the definition in the credit world for leverage? What is leverage?
Leverage to me, the way I describe it, is utilizing the rules to access credit, right? And making sure that you're not the one putting your own money up. You're using other people's money, right? OPM. And the way you do it is you got to be intentional about how you access it, right? So I'll give you an example, right? So let's just say that I'm a trucker and I need gas. I mean, it's a pivotal part of, being in business. Well, why would I put that on my personal debit card or business debit card when I can go to Sam's Club and get access to different aspects, or WEX, or any of the different fuel, man, and they'll give me a line of credit. That's leverage, because I made money to do my job, to go get more jobs, and I didn't do it with my own money. I had 60, 90 days of leverage to pay those people back. So that's an amazing aspect, especially with gas, and store credit too is another aspect of creating leverage.
So you also said something that a lot of people don't know about, points.
Yeah. Ooh, those points are good.
So
they are.
So tell us what are the points,
sure,
and the importance of the points.
Man, it's not even the points, dude. Sometimes the card issuers will give you promotions. I know, like the Chase Ink card. There's several of them. The Chase Spark card, where they'll give you $750 for spending $5,000. Last time I checked, that's a pretty good deal.
Oh yeah,
right. I get $750 to spend $5,000 as long as I do it in the first 3 months. That's a wonderful thing. Some of the cards will give you literally a companion pass. I know I have a card that I have access to with Southwest. They'll give you a companion pass for the full year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a value. I mean, some people travel more than others. But, man, if I had that and I still was traveling like I used to, man, that'd be about a $10,000 a year value, right, to be able to take flights when I need to.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's the thing that you got to look for. It's not spending your cash, creating the leverage by using the points in the systems of the different issuers, the card issuers, or the lines of credit from different and select banks.
And also, like you said, yes, Southwest. United does the same thing.
United does it. I mean, all of the major airlines do it.
Yeah.
Even Spirit probably does it. I wouldn't advocate, riding on Spirit. But I mean, if you got to ride on Spirit, you ride on Spirit. But every major
shout out to Spirit.
Shout out to Spirit. Nothing wrong with Spirit. Just don't ask for water or anything. But no, seriously, like, guys, really just being intentional about where you're going. But you're right. United's a great one, especially being here in Houston. I mean, United's a phenomenal way to travel.
Right.
So if you can get points by swiping and then not ever paying interest, crash. That sounds like leverage to me.
I know Amex, American Express, they partner with most all these companies, if not all.
They do.
And they give you crazy points, man.
They do.
Just so
3 to 1 sometimes, depending on the category.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll give you mad points. I mean, so just got to pay attention. And a lot of times when people get that card in the mail, they don't even look at any of the features and benefits.
Right.
Like, call the car company. It's their job to tell you every little benefit and ask everything. And keep that paperwork for about 6 months. I never throw that paperwork right away, because I do go back and reference it. Even getting like rental cars, right? You can create leverage that way, where you don't sometimes need the rental car coverage, the insurance. Some of it's covered on the card. So really pay attention to those things. As a business owner, that could be the difference of life and death of your business.
So now we gonna move to where people really, where they start seeing things now, maintaining assets or obtaining assets through business credit.
Yes, sir.
What are some things that off the top of your head that a person that never had, but they have great credit, they called you and got into the credit program, you built their business credit.
Oh, man.
What are some things that they can do off the jump just to start their life off and maintaining assets?
Man, you literally could buy real estate with it. There's no doubt about it. Most people think that you got to be a personal guarantor for every single thing. That's not true. That's what the banks will tell you. However, if you've built out your business credit properly, you literally can go buy real estate with your business credit. Most people don't understand that Dun & Brad is there as a houser of information, and it will be triggered as long as you do business with people that actually report to the business credit bureau. So, literally cars, you can lease a car, you can buy a car in your business name, which will totally propel you to another level of business credit. But buying a house is, signing on leases for an apartment or signing for a business lease, right? You can do that in your EIN only and not the personal, no matter what they tell you. And if you don't feel comfortable with that arrangement, go to some other place that does. Many commercial leasing companies will work with you in your business credit, not your personal.
Right.
They will.
Okay, that's dope. Sure. So now, I'm just hypothetically speaking to
Yes,
somebody like that never heard this stuff before ever in life, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, that sounds good, man. The information, I feel the passion."
Yeah.
But how do I start this process?
Start once again. The thing is you got to have an LLC, right? I mean, you can build business credit in EIN and just having a DBA. I'm not a big fan of that because you get dinged for that, right? One of the things I'd say is be intentional. Have your business plan first. I can't tell you how many entrepreneurs have written books And I say, well, man, that's a phenomenal book you wrote. Did that come off your business plan? And they're like,
business plan? What is that?
Plan. Yeah, I'm just doing my work. Like, no. Have a business plan. Be intentional with the timing that you start your LLC to the date that you actually set up your business bank account. There's 125 factors that banks look at before they lend you money. A lot of them is your business address. Are you using a Gmail at the end of your business for everything? Your business address. Like right here, we're in the studio at a wonderful business address. They look at all those things. LexisNexis tells the banks everything about you.
Yeah.
How many times you've had NSFs on your personal account? Basically, who you're tied to and your family history. All that stuff is tied together. So people go, man, why am I getting shot down for business loans, lines of credit? That's because LexisNexis is told on you. And literally, you have to be intentional about everything you do, especially about 2 to 4 years before you start your business. Try to clean everything up because that can sting you, man.
That is important, especially if you're trying to purchase a home or a big asset like a car or something like that.
Yeah.
That will come up unless they're going to give it to you with a high interest rate.
They'll give you hey, they'll give you 25%.
And I'm gonna say this, guys. Look, I'm gonna say this, but don't quote me on this.
Yeah.
If your spouse,
they got to be right. Marry the right one, Doc. Marry the one with the good credit. I mean, she fine and all, but you don't want to marry the fine one with bad credit, bro. That could land you in the spot.
For real. And look, I'm not saying that just because. I'm saying that's real life.
Yeah. Pretty and good credit. That's pretty. That's really,
pretty.
Yeah, that's very pretty. Yeah.
If you say, oh well, she's a nice looking woman, but my credit is like at 580 right now.
Yeah, you lost some notches, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Over time, you lose some notches for sure.
So look, I want to talk about what you got going on with your business, Actual Credit. So what is the name of the business?
Absolutely, DJ KO. Hey, so if you go to Business Credit Score today, guys, that's where you'll get all your information. It's so important to understand what your business credit score is. I can't tell you how many times I'm doing business with people and they don't know what their business credit score is. And I want to solve that for anybody that's listening to this podcast today. If you go to Business Credit Score today, you will receive a free copy of your business credit report. And that's the starting point of just understanding how to navigate it, right? And that's really crazy. So, Jay Galt is my my back-end consulting company that helps me manage the account. But Business Credit Score today will be where you get your free copy of your business report. Schedule a consultation, very simple. And then from there, you will get a free copy of your business credit report within 24 hours. That's a $50 value. I don't know if most of you know that, but to get a copy of your business credit score is not free. There's no annualcreditreport.com for the business side.
Right.
It costs money to pull that information, and it's great information. It kind of tells you where you are, and it tells you what your suggested credit limit would be. So it's a really good starting point.
So dealing with Credit 101, right?
Yep.
Is there any kind of way that I can take all of my assets from my personal and transfer them over to my business?
You can. I mean, think about it like this. You can do a balance transfer from a personal card to a business card, provided that provision's there. That's one way to transfer liability or risk to your business. Doing that also takes pressure off your personal credit score. Think about it. If I put $10,000 and I rotate it from my personal credit to my business credit, I'm actually rewarded for rotating to my business credit because now I could probably get terms of 60, 90 days of credit access versus the personal credit being tied up and bogged down with utilization issues. So I would always say that. And let me tell you, let me clarify one other thing too. You'll see a lot of people out there talking about business credit cards. A business credit card is still a wonderful thing, but it's backed by a person. Yeah. That's still a PG. What you want is corporate credit. You want to build your business credit to a point that you are a 80 or better on a level 4 status. That will give you corporate credit where you do not have to PG. Amazon does not, Jeff Bezos does not personally guarantee anything. Jerry Jones doesn't personally guarantee anything that the Dallas Cowboys does. Well, we can do that. We just do it on smaller scales. You literally can have a $100,000 line of credit that you're not personally guaranteeing, and that's appropriate to your credit and risk file. But you have to have revenues as well. That's what people forget. You have to have income coming in.
Okay.
So if you're not running a profit and loss statement on your business every month, you really don't know where your business is.
Okay.
And all those things lead towards having access to corporate credit. Even if you start at 5, 10, 25, $50,000 of corporate credit, it's better to be there because you're not personally guaranteeing it.
So now you're going fast. You're going fast.
I talk fast.
But
right?
I understand what you're saying,
yes,
but
sir.
a lot of people don't.
Yes, sir.
So a PG is a personal guarantor.
Yep.
Guarantor. That's
you in business, but if the business goes bad or anything defaults, you're personally tied to it, which will then ruin your personal credit.
right. So that's one.
Yes, sir.
Second question: How does a person? I know you mentioned the steps, but how does a person leave that PG status to go to a corporate status?
So being intentional, right? So there's 4 levels of tier of business credit. Level 1, you'll be getting like your Quill, your Uline, or your gas cards, right? That's level 1. What you have to do, and I really want to explain this the right way, you have to get the card, use the card, get it, use it for at least a 90-day period so they can establish a history with you. After getting it and using that particular card or whatever vendor credit, they're going to look to give you more credit. That's how the business side goes. So guys, please, so do it in phases though. So that would be your tier 1. After you use it, wash and repeat it, you move to tier 2, right? So you'll get more. So now you go for the business credit cards. You go for the things that are a little bit harder to obtain, but you use it, you're a good steward there. Once you get to tier 3 and 4 of a level 80, so if you're an 80 of a Dun & Brad, Experian for Business, or Equifax for Business, now you're really approaching corporate credit level. Once you get to an 80 Dun & Brad score at level 4, game's over. Everything's on the table. Leasing vehicles, buying buildings, buying real estate, having all the bells and whistles that come with corporate credit, just like a major corporation.
Yeah.
But it takes time to get there, though. It takes you, if you're intentional, you can do it in 3 to 6 months. If you're very intentional.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna give you a real story, and this is about me.
Yes, sir.
So during the pandemic, I kind of knew about business credit, but I didn't know how to leverage business credit. So I started building my business credit, and with my other business that I have, we needed a vehicle, right, for the business side. So I say, well, you know what? We're gonna go to the dealership. I'm not purchasing anything in my name.
Yep.
Nothing.
I'm not giving them my social.
Nothing.
I don't care what they ask for. I may write all ones, all
right.
nines. I'm not giving them my social.
So
I'll get my EAN though, but not my social. Yeah.
So the guy was like, Mr. Nelson, we need. I said, well, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
So as a salesman, of course, that's the first part of the
called
sale.
you
We
back.
say,
He called you back. Yeah.
He said, this is we can work out.
Take it away.
So long story short, I wound up giving him my business information.
Yep.
Right. I knew my paydex score was over 80. Right.
Yep.
So I was like, okay. So he went back there, did the numbers. He's like, okay, you qualify for $150,000.
100%.
So I was like, okay. He said, what you want off the lot? You get anything you want. I was like, hold on now. I don't want anything.
Or lease a vehicle, right? Or lease a vehicle.
Right.
That's just as good.
And that's a whole nother podcast right there. Buying from leasing, that's a little different. But I understand what he's saying because during the pandemic, I had to learn this stuff. And that's why I teach some of this stuff. Yeah. Not teach it, but I kind of tell my peers, this is what I did. Yeah. Do the same thing. Shouts out to a couple of people.
Shout out to KO, man.
Yeah.
It's because that's what I love about Culture Distinct. Like, the topics are so diverse, and we need this, right? In our community, we need to know how to walk into a dealership and not be used and abused. Because I'm going to tell you, when you go in a dealership and you're not in a position of strength, they're going to run your credit 25 times. They're going to run your credit absolutely into the ground. But when you're empowered and you're informed and you walk into the dealership and you know what your value is, you're in a position of strength.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is, man, you can do it.
You can.
Bro, trust
intentional. You gotta be intentional.
Right. You have a mindset.
Yes.
And you got to be intentional.
And you got to track it. You got to track where you are all the time and make sure that you have an incremental gain. That's all.
You can't be irresponsible. You can't be. It's a. I'm gonna say it's a
that's
man's
a cheat code
game.
You just said, man. All that stuff. That's a cheat code. Right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna leave that to you. So they can go to you for that.
Yes, indeed.
And y'all call me. Y'all hit me up. I want to direct you how to Brandon.
Yeah. Y'all okay? Go to DJ KO, man. He will direct you to me. I got a great relationship with this man. He's a great man. Yeah.
So look, before we get out of here.
Sure.
I want to know how can they contact you?
Sure.
In doing some of the credit 101.
Yeah, go through DJ KO. That's one way, and then you can go to Business Credit Score Today. That's the easiest way to do it. And then there's a download. You can download a free ebook, guys. Like seriously, go to Business Credit Score Today. Download the ebook. Leave your telephone number and your email. I'll receive it. But I'm pretty intentional about waiting till you schedule the appointment because what I don't want to do is I don't want to try to short circuit that learning. Get the ebook off of Business Credit Score Today, and then literally hit me up or hit DJKO up and let us know when you're ready to engage the process. It's not an overnight thing, and it does take time to learn it. Because where are you being taught business credit? You being taught that in college, high school? Like, it's not being taught.
Nah.
Let me tell you when you're taught, though. When you go apply at the bank, and you ask the business banker at the bank, hey, I want to apply for a business credit card. Sure. The banks do not have time to teach you business credit. They're trying to process 30, 40 appointments a day.
Yes.
And they could care less. They're just going to work with the people that get approved. It's just a numbers game to them. So what bankers are starting to do, guys, and I appreciate you mentioning that too, is bankers are starting to call me and say, hey, Brandon, can you pull their business credit report and their personal credit for me and see if they, where they are. Mm-hmm. And then once I clean them up, or we clean them up, or we get them to a level where they can come back to the banker, the bankers love me for that because I've already done their work. I kind of I underwrote the person, so it's easier to get them approved.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
then.
it's simple stuff.
That's good.
Anybody, shout out. If you need to talk to your business banker, send me the card of their business banker. I'd love to have a one-on-one conversation with them and educate them on how they can give you loans and get you approved.
So you have an underwriter?
Oh, I am an underwriter.
Oh, well,
yeah,
y'all good, you're good then.
Yeah. So when I pull your business credit, that's the starting point of understanding where we need to go.
Okay.
That's what the banks do. The banks don't tell you that as a person in this space, I don't have to tell you that I'm going to pull your business credit. I do it out of respect, so that way we're on the same page about how we're going to do it. But the banks don't have to tell you. They have to tell you when they're going to pull your personal credit, but not your business credit.
Correct.
That's the game. That's the sneaky stuff that kind of segregates communities too.
And it's always
Sneaky.
good to have a profile,
Sure,
personal and business profile on Experian,
yes,
all
sir.
these other platforms.
Dun & Brad,
Nav,
all those things.
Credit 101.
Yeah. Credit Safe, all of them. Yeah.
So I know them to keep mine frozen.
Yeah, that's true. That's
you know
a
what I'm
good
saying?
way to do
I
it.
just keep everything frozen.
Yep.
Because I don't know who's running what. You know what I'm saying?
That's
just
a
in
smart
case
move.
I might even go somewhere like I'm inquiring that and they run my credit without asking me.
That's a good point, man. Most people don't take advantage of that freeze provision. They should, though, because if you think about it, if I'm not applying for anything, why do I need it exposed?
Right.
It's just like having your house. You should lock your door.
Correct.
Until you need to go out the door.
Right.
Same process, same premise. Yeah.
So let me ask you this before we get out of here.
Sure.
Because I know we was talking about the upside of everything.
Yeah.
For everything upside is always a downside.
Oh, man. Let me tell you some stories.
Let me tell you about the risk. Let's talk about the risk.
The downside of not paying attention on the personal credit side, higher interest rates, a lot more stress, a lot more divorce, a lot less assets to give to your community, like your churches or nonprofits that you want to work with, and you just feel broke, And so not being intentional about your personal credit has more ramifications than your business credit to a degree. Now, not having good business credit could prevent you from adding new employees, could prevent you from having larger sums of money to reinvest in your business. And it really could just put you in a position where you're going to go out of business. I hate to say this, but not every business makes it. Man, restaurants have a very high turnover rate.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Very few.
What is it, 2 years, something like that?
Man, 2, max 3. They just run out of cash.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why businesses, especially in our brown community, that they go out of business. They just didn't have enough cash to start.
Yes.
And then they didn't have enough cash to infuse it to keep going. And that's sad. And that's why I champion this topic, because I really want people, if you don't have access to cash, and you know me, it's just because you don't want to have access to capital or cash.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's
I'm a firm believer. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
Call Brandon.
Come on, let's do it.
But I don't believe in spending my own money.
OPM.
Liquid cash, I would never spend my own money just because I understand how important that is.
Leverage.
Right? If you have credit,
Yes,
you can
sir.
leverage that, and the banks look at that and say, okay, you can leverage against this.
That's right.
And we'll give you this.
That's right.
Because I have intentions on paying the money
Just
back.
pay them on time at the agreed terms.
Right.
Nothing more, nothing less.
And now next thing you know, they be like, oh, well, you have a line of credit for $100,000.
Banks are in the business to make money, y'all. Brown people always think they hating on you. They not.
No.
They're trying to go in a systematic way to get paid back. Think about it, guys. If you have a P.O. box or you have a UPS store box, how can they pull up on you and get their money back?
Correct.
So if you have a business address like you have here, you have a stronger chance of getting approved, provided that the address is on the application at the time. Same thing I have on the website, right? Underwriters, that's what they do. They go to your website. They call people.
Yeah.
They look at your client base. They look at your social media. They want to know that they're giving money to a valid person or a valid business, period.
That's real.
That's real talk. I would do the same thing.
And you said something, and this kind of off the topic of credit, but you said something that was key, right? And I could say this about my community because I'm black.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I'm unapologetically black.
Right.
Yeah, we should be. We all should be.
Because the thing is, we always think, for the most part, it's a game or it's a gimmick.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you said, it's a system.
It's a system, right?
If you learn the system, they don't care what color you are.
Yeah.
You learn the system and learn like how to operate in the system, you're going to flow by like nothing.
Because green is more important than black or white. I promise you, 100%.
Absolutely.
They can't make money unless they give you money or access to capital.
I always say this, they are at, some of my friends always say, man, you always in these places where, we normally don't go.
You bilingual. Yeah, you bilingual.
I say, you know what
it
is?
Bicultural for sure.
I say it's called a class thing.
100%.
It's not a race thing, it's a class thing.
Classism. Not racism, it's classism.
You understand the system?
Because you rich and black, you got options.
You got a lot of options.
You still black, though. But you got more options. That's
absolutely.
All. Yeah.
You could get a lawyer.
Yeah, you get a lawyer. A good one.
Right. But guys, man, look, this is a great episode. So look, Brandon, before we get out of here, man.
For sure.
Give your people your information.
Absolutely.
How can they reach out to you?
Definitely.
Some things that you got going on.
Definitely.
Seminars, books.
Definitely.
Everything.
Yeah, guys, I'm just honored to be here. But definitely, the business credit score today is the best way to hit me up. My personal information is on there, my cell, my business office number, and every way to reach me is there. Get your business credit report, guys. Please take advantage of that. I literally run about 200 of those a month. I'd love to run one for you. I will be coming out with a book probably the next 6 months. But I'm getting ready to do a lot of seminars on business credit at a restaurant or a venue near you. So please pull up. DJ KO will have all the information. He's going to post it out there. And I'd love to see you at the next seminar near you on business credit and access to capital.
There you go, guys. Look, guys, we just gave you the keys. First of all, this is 2024. I have heavy hitters at the beginning of the year. Normally, I start hitting them around November, December. This at the beginning of the year. So you have a lot of time. So a lot of people made resolutions. Yeah. And the first thing they say, okay, I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy.
Yeah, health and wealth. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We're starting you guys off with knowledge, right? Knowledge is the key to everything in life. In order for that seed to grow, you got to water it, right?
You got to plant it first. Yeah.
This is the plant right now. We're giving them the seeds right now.
The game is supposed to be sold, not told.
Right.
We told it to you, so what you going to do with it now?
It's simple. It's simple.
We'll give it to you again if you go through DJ KO. I'll give it to you again. Just do it.
Just reach out to me. Y'all know how to reach out to me. Guys, man, look, once again, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? If I was a younger person, when I say younger, coming out of college, and I got this information, man,
I'd be retired by now.
Easy. What?
20 years
Easy.
of knowing the stuff we know, we'd be retired.
Man, come on, man.
Be retired.
But
sure.
But the reason why I got to where when I got it, because I guess God blessed us with it when we were supposed to get it. At the time we were supposed to receive
it. Is everything, man.
So it's all great. But guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Much love to my sponsors once again. 605 Adult Beverages. Make sure you guys hit those guys up. Much love to my partners over there at Red Core Universe. Much love to you. Everybody else, man, I love you guys. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend where we are. Most of you guys already see me in the city. Y'all be like, Adam, why you say that? I'm like, I'm sorry. All right. Charged into my head.
I'm saying it about today, though.
Right, not today. Right. So, guys, look, one more time, Brandon, before we get out of here, information.
Absolutely, man. www.businesscreditscore today. Stay focused there. Download the ebook. We'll take you to a whole other level in 2024. Let's go.
There you go, guys. I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. This is us, and we're out of here.
God bless y'all.
Peace.
Yeah.